Hello, Sagittarius. This is your mid-monthly reading for September 2017. Welcome to Mystic Crow Tarot. I am your intuitive psychic medium oracle card reader, Amy Burgoyne. I wanted just to let everyone know that it is completely impossible for me to be able to read every single person who could watch this video. So this is definitely a general reading. So I hope that everything connects with you, but if it doesn't, and maybe just a little bit does, you might want to think about connecting with me for your one-on-one private reading. Also, I do groups, galleries, and events. But you can find me at iwanttobeempowered.com, also on Facebook and Instagram. So let's get started, Sagittarius. I will be using for the clarification deck today, the Enlightenment Pack by Chuck Spezzano, illustrated by Allison J. Sagittarius. As soon as I start the reading, I get a very vivid feeling of melancholy. So for those Sagittarius who are kind of feeling this at this moment of me recording this, this is the 12th of September that I'm recording this. So I can't quite hone in on if this is on the verge of a depression or sadness. Or if this is a comfortable place where it's just really low key. So I think we've got kind of both of those aspects playing. So it's a comfortable place where it's really low key, but I also feel like some of you could be going through a pretty serious form of depression at this time. So if that's the case, always look for healing yourself. And we are our greatest healers. So obviously everyone has their reason for being down and out and everything like that, but just make sure you're taking really good care of yourself and treat yourself well and with a lot of patience, Sagittarius, because I do feel like that is actually maybe your current vibe, where that's maybe where you're coming out of, again, depending on where you're at earth-wise will depend on when this is going to affect you, but I feel like that's exactly where you're at now. But I would say, because this is for the last 2 weeks in September, so we haven't exactly hit that, I think that you're looking at coming out of this. And I want to say, like, the recent times, the recent shifts since May 2017, all of the signs have really gone through their own type of transformation, as we usually do. But I think as I've done this reading and I go through the chart, excuse me, it just seems like the closer that we get to the signs that are at the end of the year, slowly we're releasing things. So like I felt like Capricorn at first, and Aquarius, and then Pisces. Everybody was letting out certain aspects of themselves at certain times. So I feel like that's really where you're at. You're one of these later signs, because it really kind of it started with Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, now we're in Sagittarius. So those last several signs that I've read, there's kind of been like this sort of a repetition going. So of going from a heightened sense of happiness to just a real chill. So I think we're dealing with two different aspects. Somebody that's definitely got a lot of depression going on, and some of you are just going to be coming right out of that in the next couple of weeks. And please know that this is, I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, but mostly because I'm trying to get an idea for exactly what is causing this. So I think we have a lot of things up in the air as far as it goes for Sagittarius. But just know that in the next couple of weeks, I think this is who we're kind of guiding this reading towards, is in the next couple of weeks, things will lift for you. I'm a Scorpio Libra cusp, so I actually experienced this a couple of weeks ago. So that's what I mean by, Scorpio and Sagittarius is next. So you're coming out of this. So really whatever this is just acknowledging it and letting it go. And if it doesn't serve you, then you need to get it out of your vision, your frame of vision, because it's not serving you anymore. But I feel like most of this has just been, we've had a lot of stuff going on, like I said, since May. And now, depending on where you're at, you could be experiencing some of these floods and stuff like that. So I know just feeling kind of helpless. I can only imagine how it feels to lose your home and everything that you know. So just know that that everybody, my prayers are with you. And I think that you have a lot of other people, Sagittarius, on your side too, whether you know it or not. I want to just hit a clarifier because, again, I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, and this could just be the general energy for Sagittarius currently, where you guys might kind of feel like you're stumbling on things too. So this is a channeling message, and I do have a tendency to channel pretty accurately at some point. So for clarifier, I actually have the control card come up. And it's comes up as under the astrological number of 5. So with this card being a clarifier and having to do with control, the positive characteristics, this is a 14, so when you put the numbers together, we end up with a number 5. So 5s are usually energetic, adventurous, adaptable, curious, very quick thinking. But I feel like there has been, on the flip side, there's been some sort of like self-indulgent things going on. And sometimes those self-indulgent things can lead to us finding ourselves really depressed or down. So you're also kind of, the number 5 is also associated with the sign of Taurus. And so you could be really dealing with some sort of major earth sign right now, or some sort of earthy energy that is also bringing you down. I did mention something about the floods, so in the United States. So this could really be focusing on some of that. I also feel like some of you Sagittarius, there's been some sort of unhealthy tendencies, whether it be drug abuse or sexual abuse. And I think that for some of you, you've reached a point in time where you're getting ready to kind of like vomit all of that up. So the number 5, because that is what the number of the control card, it's also connected with the Hierophant. And the Hierophant refers to being a master of practical lessons from the natural law point of view. So basically, the Hierophant is there to reveal secrets of life and cycles of the tides. So I feel like with this control issue and the number 5 coming up, we do have definitely some of you Sagittarius is dealing with some abuse. And I really feel that it really stems from some sort of sexual abuse. So whoever this is connecting with, please know that I send so much love to you. And I know that I say that with the readings that I've done, but it's true because every situation can be very difficult. So I think that some of you are really getting ready to, like I said, vomit some of this old stuff that you're holding on to. And I do feel like for a certain number of you, it has to do with sexual abuse. And this could be something, it could be on either end of that. It could be the abuser or the one that's been abused. So in whatever situation, it's going to be really important for you to take whatever means it is for you to heal yourself. The number 5 also talks about developing your expertise and have faith. And it's also asking you to take a course of action that will harmonize what you want with what is current and possible. And so with a lot of the with the readings and the sessions that I do, sometimes I often ask, it's kind of the shamanic question of, when did you stop singing? And so I bet you that even if you're cross-watching this and I ask you that question, something will pop up. If not, that's okay. But I guarantee you. So whatever it is that's popping up, it's kind of like that question leads to a trigger. And so it brings us to a very sensitive question. So the Hierophant, which is connected with the number 5 and obviously comes in your reading today, the Hierophant advises that you return to the role of the meticulous student. Learn everything you can about your chosen area. So a lot of times these traumas will hold us back from doing what our heart desires. So I also feel like I'm kind of speaking to somebody who's in a situation where, like, even if they felt like they wanted to go back to school, I think they feel like they really couldn't do anything like that. Whether it's because financially or you're a mom, but it's saying, what they're trying to say is take whatever it is that you have established in your heart, whatever your passion is. What is it that would drive you, that gets you excited? It's going to assist you with getting out of the situation, Sagittarius. So you need to take some of your creative energy and start to become the student again. Start to relearn how to establish your happiness, because I feel like it's kind of been given away. Let's see. They're also talking about reaching out to others who have been in your situation, or even a situation that you've been in the distant past that's caused a lot of trauma. And they want to talk about, it's kind of like the wounded healer, where you've sort of been through something, and in order to kind of heal yourself fully, sometimes we end up putting ourselves in the role of being the healer before we're already healed. A lot of times it makes things rise to the surface that we can acknowledge about ourselves. So that's something also that is coming to me about this last couple weeks, Sagittarius, is really maybe try to be of service. And sometimes it's talking about being of service to ourselves. It depends on what situation you're in. So the number 5 is also the number, it's a dynamic force. So whatever is coming into your circle in the next couple of weeks, it's really there to get you to release things, to get you to acknowledge things. And all of this kind of like goes back to the control card, the number 5, and this depression. It all goes back to everything that is happening now is there to serve you in releasing whatever it is that doesn't work. And sometimes these readings can be really repetitive. Like if you listen to several different readings that I've done even today. But a lot of times it's some of the most simplest information that we can overlook. I am picking up on something, a situation where, and this may again, there's some parallels to a couple people, but I'm feeling like there's a Sagittarius out there who there have been some choices that have been made that haven't allowed them to see their children. And I actually feel like these children are with the state or in foster care. And if you're listening to this, this is it. This is your last chance. I'm getting the message of either getting it together or losing everything that you have. So I hope that you understand that there are places that you can get help that will assist you. And I know that there could be a couple people. And this could also be somebody that's listening who has a child themselves that is struggling with keeping their children, or your grandchildren, so should I say. But this is going to be like the last chance kind of boxcar that comes through for them. And then I also see that if you are a grandparent, and that's how this applies to you, is that there's definitely a possibility of obtaining custody of those children. And I want to say that it's probably going to be, I'm going to say, within a year of being awarded full custody, guardianship of those children. But I feel like it'll be closer to a year if the court date hasn't happened yet. So let me flip this over just to clarify this, because it's kind of gone in a couple different directions here. So I get the number 10, which in this card is with heartbreak. So I definitely feel like this is more, this last part of the reading is going to be for whoever it is that is experiencing that heartbreak, whether it be the parent from losing the children. I do feel like this parent is a bit of an addict or something like that. There's definitely some sort of addictive behavior that has caused her to lose these children. I do feel like it's she. So there's definitely a female, obviously a mother, involved with this. But I do feel like the heartbreak has actually been more heartbreaking. The children don't quite realize the extreme of the heartbreak, but the grandparents do. And so just know that God is with you at this time. And I think that if you're dealing with any sort of addictive personality, anyone who has had their children taken away, I think that it's pretty realistic to say that you know kind of what you're dealing with. And if you don't, and you're kind of green or naive to this can be a really messy situation. And so just want to be very careful that you're very honest with yourself as far as like heartbreak goes, where you're not thinking, sometimes it's easy to look at the silver lining when you're first dealing with addiction and or having children taken away. But at some point, the reality strikes in. So I think there's a lot of you maybe that haven't gotten to that point yet. But this definitely is relating around grandparents or godparent that is will be ending up getting custody of children. In one case, I feel like there's going to be a situation where there's going to be some sort of a loss, and I don't really feel like a court loss, but I feel like a loss of either somebody just kind of going away or not having their presence around any longer. So that in itself could cause another heartbreak, but in the long run, it may be something that actually takes one less of a difficult aspect out of the scenario. So wherever you're at in this situation, just make sure that you're having a really open head, open mind, and also make sure that you get the support. You're definitely a caregiver, but just make sure that you have the support that you need because you are a caregiver and you need that. So I'm just going to send everybody lots of love, because sometimes these readings are not always easy for me to do. I wish everything was really upbeat, but just know everything is going to end up turning out okay. I mean, it is kind of the nature of the beast with us being three-dimensional beings, where we go through good times, bad times, and really we're here to evolve and really love each other and learn from our experiences. So I hope this has connected with you, Sagittarius. If it has, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I love to find out about my followers, so please feel free to leave comments. If this has even connected with you just a little bit and you're interested in getting more of a reading from me, visit my website at iwanttobeempowered.com. Thanks so much, Sagittarius, and we'll see you in October.